You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Live fans, let's talk about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is one of the NFL players that is most vocal about not wanting to get the jab. Now, we said it time and time again, guys, that if you want to get the jab, that's fine. If you don't want to do it, that's fine as well. You do what's best for you. You check with your own doctor and make the best decision for yourself. Now, guys, I do not believe that any NFL team or NFL player should be pressuring a player to get the jab. But what have we seen the last few days in the NFL? The regular season is about to start and cuts have been made. And in the case of the Jaguars, Urban Meyer has said, yeah, vaccination status has played a role. Now, Cam Newton, he was cut. Bill Belichick said that his vaccination status had nothing to do with it. But most people believe that that did play some type of role here. And now that brings us to Josh McCown, former NFL quarterback. He's come out and he has hammered Kirk Cousins for not getting a jab. He actually believes that if Kirk Cousins is to be the quarterback of the team, he needs to be a leader and he needs to get the jab, or else he can actually end up losing the locker room and not be a good leader. This is ridiculous, folks. This is really, really ridiculous. Like I said before, guys, I don't think any player, any team should be giving medical advice to a player if they're not this player's doctor. Okay? Now, Josh McCown, he's not a doctor. He used to be a quarterback, and that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure that Josh McCown does not know the health status of Kirk Cousins. He doesn't know that. But let's get into this, guys. You can see here, Kirk Cousins being unvaccinated could affect his ability to lead, says longtime NFL quarterback. Wow. So before the whole virus thing, you mean to tell me that quarterbacks weren't good leaders unless they got some type of a jab? Now, guys, we know the flu comes around every year. Does anybody really care if these quarterbacks, in this case right here, if they got a flu shot every year? I'm pretty sure most people do not care. Now, you may not know this, but the flu is a virus. And players that played with the flu on the field and nobody cared. Now, when it comes to this type of virus, I get it. It's worse than the flu. But for the most part, it doesn't really affect world-class athletes the way it would with people that are out of shape, overweight, have diabetes, etc., etc. Okay? But this is what Josh McCown had to say. Now, he's currently a wide receivers coach at a high school. He's not in the league anymore, but he said this when talking about Kirk Cousins. Says, quote, obviously, we have a personal choice. Yes, you do. And that's a freedom that he has, McCown said in a phone interview about Cousins not being vaccinated. Quote, but I think in the realm of a team and understanding everything we do about the science and the safety of it, I would just say it would be hard week in and week out for a quarterback to say, hey, I'm all for my team, but I'm not going to do this except for this. Now, guys, I don't think that whether you get the jab or not should even play a role in this, when it comes to being a leader. Now, it's kind of funny here that he actually says, understanding everything we do about the science. Now, guys, 4 months ago, what were they saying about it? Oh, we get the jab, we get back to normal and all this other stuff. But guess what? Now you got the Delta variant out there. And guess what? Even if you get the jab, you can still spread the virus. And also, folks, you can still get the virus. The science is constantly changing. So at this point now, no matter if you got the jab or not, you can still get the virus. You can transmit the virus. But let's go on here. And McCown himself, he has gotten a jab. Good for him. That's his business. I really don't care. But he continues on and he says this. Quote, obviously, he has a firm belief in his systems of beliefs that are leading him to say, quote, I don't want to vaccinate. and that's his business, McCown said. But given the effect and the impact that it can have on a team, we don't share the same beliefs on that aspect. And I just think you want to lead the way and do everything that allows you to be effective for your team. And so if you don't get vaccinated, I guess you have to throw the mask on and be vigilant about that. But even then, I think that takes away from some of your ability to lead. Wow. So there you have it, guys. Josh McCown saying that since Kirk Cousins doesn't want to get the jab, this is actually going to affect his ability to lead a team. Now, guys, I'm assuming he's talking strictly in the locker room here. Okay? I'm assuming that. And I'm pretty sure that the players all know who got the jab or who hasn't. But Kirk Cousins, he's in the limelight. He's a quarterback here. And he's following all of the protocols. He hasn't gotten fined yet by the NFL. Now, we know that the NFL wants to make it a living hell for players that don't get the jab. Now, if Kirk Cousins was the number 52 man on a team, there's no doubt about it. I believe he would be cut right now. But he's a starting quarterback, and he's a very good quarterback. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, so he's not going to get cut. Now, if he does end up in COVID protocol, let's say he actually gets it from a teammate that got the jab, and he gets infected that way. You know what? The player that gave him the virus will get off scot-free, but yet Kirk Cousins is going to get punished for it. And let's say he doesn't have any symptoms. They're going to punish him for this. So he's going to have to go into COVID protocol. He'll probably end up missing a game. And, the media is going to come down on him for not getting a jab. Now, if he still got the jab and he got it from another teammate, that's a real possibility right here. So I don't like what Josh McCown said. I really don't. I don't think we should be listening to any athletes when it actually comes to getting a jab and things like that. Josh McCown, you do your business right there. Let Kirk Cousins do his. Kirk Cousins is following the protocols. Everything, at least as far as I know, seems to be going pretty smooth with him not being vaccinated. He's not spreading the virus. He hadn't got the virus, Could he get the virus? Yeah. But like I said, you can still get the virus even if you got the jab. That's his business. Because I think now, guys, we're going to see more players get vilified for not wanting the jab. In the case of Cam Newton, he already had the virus. So he probably has the antibodies right now, but he's under immense pressure to get the jab. Because I believe, and I believe Rhodes believes also, that when it comes down to you getting on a team this season, if you don't get the jab, your vaccination status could come into play. And if you don't have it, you're not going to get on the team. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Live fans, do you agree with Josh McCown coming down on Kirk Cousins and saying he can't lead a team based off his vaccination status? I believe this is completely and utterly ridiculous. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Live, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.